Welcome back, my little subscribers. In this video, I want to share with you the SANS ARRÉT watch. This is a watch that got my attention, and I reached out to the company, and they were kind enough to send it to me. So I want to share my experience with you. Okay, so I want to talk about SANS ARRÉT. This is a very interesting watch. It blends a couple of styles that come to mind, but I want to talk about it just as its own thing. This is an octagonal stainless steel watch with a variety of dials to pick from, all designed around, you know, a person. The style is supposed to speak to how a person wants to evolve and succeed. So they've named the different colorways in this model after those type of stages. So this particular model in blue is called the Elite from this Ambitionist line. And I have to say, opening the box, I was really impressed with the packaging. It has excellent quality box. I love the embossing, the pressed paper, the envelope with all the information, with the warranty, some quick facts and story behind the design, and how their brand is about not just being something you throw away. It's something that you keep with you over a long period of time, something you value. So I think the packaging is very excellent. It is way better than I expected and way better than other watches that I've reviewed. I recently looked at some Swiss-made watches that aren't like the top brands, but their packaging was not as nice and appealing as this one. So very good impression just taking this out of the packaging and seeing it for the first time. And then including the tool to be able to adjust it is awesome. I know a lot of brands are starting to do that, so that's a welcome addition so that you can just enjoy the watch right away. The other thing that I really liked was the case it comes in. It is a watch roll type case with faux leather. It's beautiful. Like I could see myself buying something like that to take a watch on, like to travel or to just put away. So the fact that you get a nice case with the watch is a really great deal for the price point. You rarely see nice cases. It's usually something you're going to put away and store just to have the box. This is something you can actually use, so I appreciate the utility in that. Now let's talk about the watch. I mean, I'm showing it to you on screen, but I would say it's very attractive. If you're looking for a modern Art Deco, like there's a mix of things here that I want to break down for you, but just specs wise, the sizing, as you see on screen, very attractive sizing, makes this unisex, which is a big motif in all of their different models. They want their watches to be unisex, and I think they've achieved that by making this a very wearable size with the very wearable lug to lug. This is mineral crystal. I do wish it was sapphire, but that could be something they do later. The case is a 31 millimeter. It basically, it's hard to tell you how this wears, but I can kind of, based off of the measurements of that I took, strap width, 20 millimeter. So that's great. It is integrated. So I don't see you removing this for any reason unless they took out like some sort of rubber strap or something that goes with it, but it would have to be from them. Tapers down to 16, which is very attractive. The lug to lug is 37. So this seems small, but I think it makes it super wearable because once you take into consideration the end links of this integrated bracelet, you're closer to 40, 41. So essentially, if you're familiar with wearing watches that are shaped, not rounded, like shapes other than round is what I'm trying to say, you know that they tend to wear larger. So smaller for me, when it's an octagonal case or a square case, is better. And I have several watches, vintage and new, that are around these sizes, these dimensions. So it fits within my wrist. I have 7-inch wrist. I like how it fits. I think it's very attractive. The lug to lug is very nice. Even taking into account that piece that at the end link of the case for the strap. So I think it is unisex. So this is great. Um, it wears to me, when I look down at my wrist, I feel like I'm wearing a 36 millimeter. So between 36 and 37 millimeter round watch, that's kind of the impression I'm getting out of this, which is very usable, very wearable. It's a great dress watch size, but it has such a sporty look that I think it just will look good in all kinds of scenarios. Now, let's talk about the design. I am a big fan of minimalist design. So I do like that they went with solid colors on these models. There is one that doesn't have that, but that's okay. It's like a piano style. I like solid colors. I like the applied hour markers at 12, 3, 6, and 9. I like that there's no date, and I like that there's no ticking second hand, because I love quartz and their precision, but I'm not a fan of the ticking. So it's great to not include the ticking seconds hand on this. It makes it classier by not including it, basically. Now, the design. I'm getting a mix of Cartier and AP and maybe a little bit of like Patek, in the sense of integrated bracelet watches, shaped watches, those those screws, those faux screws that are in the case and on the bracelet. They give you a very industrial vibe, but at the same time, very modern, very clean. We've got um, sharp cuts on all of these links. So they're actually shaped kind of like trapezoidal. I'll show, you can see it on the screen there. It's a very interesting bracelet. I think it's unique. It catches the light because of the different shaping it has. It's all brushed. You only get polishing on the left and right side of the bezel and the screws. So I think it's a very nice industrial look without it being over polished to look kind of cheesy. So I could see this being a watch that a lot of people would enjoy in different colors. And for the price point, I think it's very affordable. I think it's classy, and it's its own thing. It has inspiration from these models that I'm mentioning. Like I'm thinking Santos, like from the vintage era, or the current one where they have the screws on the bezel. AP, we know, has the screws on the bezel. Patek with their integrated bracelets as well. Although Patek is a bit more rounded. We do have a mix of that when it's on the diagonal sides of the case. So you do see some sort of rounding, but everything else is straight lines. Crown is good. I mean, this isn't a sport watch. You're not going to go swimming with it. So just keep that in mind. It is a dress watch. It's a sporty dress watch. And I could see you wearing this for different things, different scenarios, but I would not go into water with it, obviously. So overall, I think it's a great option for people who want something unique that's not straight up copying, homaging something else. So I think they combined enough elements to make it their own, made it minimalist by toning down the dials so that the parts that are polished, or those cuts on those very straight lines on the bracelet, stand out more. So that's a very neat thing that they did here. Now, they do have other models. I can't speak to those, but I can speak to this one. But I am attracted to some of the other ones. I think they're nice. You could tell they're from the same family, same idea that they're trying to do with a watch. So very good impressions. Here it is on the wrist. And the more I look down on it, the more I like it, honestly. And I could see myself wanting a different color just to switch out the style every so often. Like, I like the taupe styled one, even though it's a little bit more toned down. I like the all black, gives me a little bit of the Movado vibe. I don't know if I would go for any of the gold models, just because PVD is very hard to nail, and some people may like it, some people may not. So those are my thoughts on this watch. I'm going to be wearing it for the whole week, and I appreciate the design and the language here from a couple that decided to, share their passion for watches and things, clothing and, accessories that can be used in a unisex manner. This totally fits the bill in that vision. And I think they might have, I think they have a winner with this design. They have some other ones that are a little bit more curved and polished. So it really is going to depend on the style you're going after. I'll put them on the screen for you to check out, but all of them I would say are in a reasonable price zone with the same type of quality in terms of mineral crystal with the steel, all of that, and their warranty being 2 years. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know down below if this is something you would consider, and I'll leave the link below for you to check out. Thanks for watching. The last thing I do want to say is that for the bracelet, I do wish it had micro adjust. I did find that in taking off a piece or two, maybe in the moment it felt right, but then I probably needed to adjust it or add a piece. So I think just keep that in mind for in terms of fit. All the links are the same size, so there's no real in-between adjustments. So you'll have to probably go slightly larger on the wrist and then push it back.